Question 9. In this question, you'll be assessed on the quality of your organisation, communication and accuracy in writing. So this is where your 2 OCW mark comes from. So you get 1 mark for your organisation and 1 mark for your writing. So your organisation is how you set out your working. So it needs to be clear and you've told the examiner at every stage what you are doing. And your accuracy in writing comes from any mistakes that you make. So you can't make any sort of mistakes with your units, decimals, any spellings. You need to make sure you've communicated accurately. So with these questions, you need to try and write as little as possible, because the more you write, the more likely you are to make a mistake. So rectangle A measures 25 centimetres by 8 centimetres. Rectangle B is 5 times as long and 5 times as wide. What is the perimeter of rectangle B? So this is the important information now. When we've got questions like this, part of your organisation and communication can be actually drawing it out. So a little sketch is a very good idea to help you visualise what you're doing. So I've drawn rectangle A here, and the length is 25 centimetres and the width is 8 centimetres. So I've made that very clear to the examiner. I've labelled it A and I've written my measurements. Now rectangle B, it doesn't give me any measurements, but it does tell me that it's 5 times as long and 5 times as wide. So for rectangle B, I need to be looking at 25 times 5. So that there, 25 times 5, is 125 centimetres. So that's the length of that rectangle. It then says it's 5 times as wide. Well, my width is here, so that needs to be 8 times 5. So that is going to be 40 centimetres. It now says, what is the perimeter of rectangle B? So just for my notes down here, perimeter equals add up all the sides. So just because I've only written 125 and 40, it doesn't mean that there's only 2 sides on that shape. So again, I'm going to tell the examiner what I'm doing. I'm going to say perimeter, make sure I've spelt it correctly, so it's like that in the question, equals, so I would do my sum now, 125, don't forget your units, add on, this is a rectangle, so I know that both of these sides are going to be the same, so 125, add 125, add 40, add on the other 40 centimetres on the other side. So now, again, you can do that in your head. It's a good idea to double check using a sum though. So 125 add 125 is 250 and 80 is 330. Now, it's not squared because perimeter is never measured in squared because you're just adding up all the sides. Okay, so that's 330 centimetres. I'm just going to double check that. 125, 125, 40, 40. Fill in your gaps with zeros, add them up. So 5 and 5 is 10, carry the 1, 2, 4, 8, 12, and 1 is 13, carry the 1, 1, 2, 3. 330, and that's correct. So I've made this very easy for the examiner to read now. I've given my diagrams, the sums that I have done, and my final workings and answer here. So that would give me my organisation marks, because that's very clear. I've told the examiner what I'm doing, and my accuracy in writing. I haven't made any mistakes. I've got my units. My sum is correct. I haven't got any spelling mistakes. So I'd get 2 marks for that. And I'd get 3 marks for answering the question correctly. So 1 mark comes from here, the length at 125. 1 mark comes from the width at 40. And 1 mark, either or. So it's either this one or that one. 1 mark comes from your sum and 1 mark comes from your final answer. There's only 3 marks for getting the question correct. So 3 marks for the correct question and 2 for your organisation.